Today I'm going to be starting a little series of just just showing the whole process of what my personal process is for making different maps and projects. So, for example, for this tutorial or guide, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be just replacing this area here with houses. So, what first thing I would do is obviously find the area that I want to replace and open up a new project in CodeWalker. Obviously, make sure you're on the right DLC as your server's running. And so, first thing what you're gonna need to do is just add everything to the project. Usually, you only have to add like one thing, and then you can start moving things onto the map. Usually, most like 99% of the time you shouldn't delete things because it can fuck things up, and easily you have to restart. So, easier and more efficient to just move it onto the map. So just go through and remove everything until there's pretty much nothing left. Select multiple things, you can hold control and right click. Right now, we're not going to worry about the LEDs. You don't have to move any of those right now. Once you have the area cleared out for the most part, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can always come back and remove ones you've missed. What you're going to need to do is calculate the flags and calculate extents and save the file to your hope. You should usually just save it directly to your new resource. This I'm just going to be naming it, name it fucking, I don't know, tutorial. Doesn't really matter. And make a stream folder, of course, and save it into the stream folder. And what you can do is close the project. What I usually do is just hold Control and Z until everything's back to where it should be. Then what I do is open up the file again in the project. Make sure as you can see here, some things didn't actually move. So to make sure they actually get moved is find the ones that didn't and click add to project. Make sure all these are added. See, this one isn't, click add. And we should be able to move these now. And same for these here. That should be good for now. Then what you're going to want to do is make sure you save the new Y maps that are created and the old one as well. Make sure you calculate the extensive flags for each, just to be safe. What I usually do is click on each individual one and save them one by one to make sure the things don't fuck up. And then what you can do is save a project file. And now we should be good to close the project and do the same thing again with holding Control and Z. And what I do is put up a new project. Make a Y map. Remove this. Or actually, no, you don't make a new project. What you do is top right here, selection, expand this a bit, and then what you want to do is find the surrounding terrain or mesh. For example, I'll show you in a second. What you're gonna need to do is find the roads. And we're going to be exporting those. Here, you just select it and copy the name, go to Tools, RPF Explorer. And then once you're here, search the name. And right click it and export as XML. Then open it, or like double click the drawable or YDR, whatever, and then go to the materials tab and click save all textures. Then in the same folder, make a new folder. This is what I usually do, and name it textures. Once it's done, it should say all exported. Might take a second, depending on the mesh. Could take a long time. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, there we go. Then next thing, before you select something else, on the same object, go to YMap and copy the name as well. Go to RPF Explorer and search it as well. Sometimes it can be really fucky depending on which DLC it's from, so what I usually do is just go with the biggest file size. I don't know if that's the correct way, but it works for me, so. And next what you're going to do is move this just move it down for now. Select the next road. Do the same process. Copy the Y map. Then now once you've done this, just make sure you've got all the terrain. You can just Control Z everything again. Minimize CodeWalker, and now we can load up Blender. Obviously, you definitely need to have the latest version of Solemns. Make sure you have it and check on GitHub. And if you don't know, just re-download it again. It takes like 5 seconds. So for this version of Solemns that I'm currently using, or the current version, I don't know if it'll be different in the future, but this is how it should work. So what we're gonna do is import, and then go to our folder, and import everything except for the Y maps. So just the YDRs for now. It'll take a second. What you want to do is press V for the Solemn's Pi menu, press Find Missing Textures, then go to the Textures folder. You don't have to select them, just click the folder and press Find Missing Textures. And now what we're going to do is import the Y maps one by one. So we can just start with this one. That one's good, and then start with this one. Now what you can do is just delete, like, left click and drag over these, and then select hierarchy. Wait, no. What you can do is select hierarchy on this one, and then press X in the viewport and press delete. And do it again for the rest. Now our terrain should be in the right position. What you can do to make things easier is click on this. Don't select it, and just press Shift and drag it out. So just click on it, Shift, and drag to the left. Then you can delete the hierarchy on the Y map. Or wait, let me turn on, where is it? There you go. And what you can do is double click on the name and remove the 001 and the dot. Make things easier. Then what we're gonna do is make sure you save. I've gotten in the habit of always saving pretty much every a minute. Saves you a lot of time sometimes. It's a good habit to get into, so I'll just name it something like tutorial. And a good way to save performance in your blend file is go up here, File, Clean Up, and Recursive Unused Data Blocks. Click that. It'll throughout the project, it'll remove things that aren't being used, basically. So now that we have everything in place, what we're gonna do is press what is it? Shift A and add a new plane. Then to get it, so when you add it, it won't be in the proper position. So what you're gonna need to do is go up here, click vertex, closest. Just copy what I have selected here, and then click the magnet next to it. And then what you do is press G and move your mouse over our vertex. Now what we're gonna do is start filling it in. So what I usually do is select the road next to it, or the terrain next to it, select the plane, and then now you can see the vertexes and snap the vertexes to it. What I'm going to do is just try to line it up somewhat flat, or whatever, like horizontal to the other vertex here, so it's easier to extrude. So what I'm going to do now is select this edge here, go up to the global thing, and then click the plus. This way it's oriented along this mesh. It's just easier to extrude that way. And what I'm going to do is press E and then just extrude to each vertex. Make sure you don't miss any, because then it'll leave holes and light might go through there. So now that we've got to a different mesh here, what I'm going to do is click this one and then click the plane and do the same thing. And once you get to a corner here, what I usually do is select both the corner meshes and extrude it here, and then add a loop cut on the plane and snap it to the corner. Then for this one here, what I'm going to do is double tap G and slide it like this, somewhat close to the edge, and then snap it to the closest vertex. Then we can continue going this way. What I'm going to do is actually probably add a loop cut here and snap it like this, and then snap it like that. This way, kind of like, what's it called? Cube or whatever. Make sure you use a loop cut or else you'll have a, what's it called? End gone here, so. Now we can continue this edge. I'm gonna, here, let me try this. Okay, no, that won't work. I have to do this. Okay, so see this decal here? Dirt or whatever? So what I'm gonna do is just select it and press H to hide it. Just so it's not in the way. And so, for in this case, what I would do, since it's like a little indent, what I would do is extrude, and then press X to lock it on the X axis, and then snap it to here. Then what I would do is do this to snap it here, and then add a loop cut, snap it to this one, and like that, just so it's easier. And I just don't know how to explain it. Just do it. Just do that. And for something like this, what I would do is select this and add a loop cut in this direction. Snap this here and snap the other vertex there. And snap this edge here to the other part. Then for these bends, what I'm going to do is just extrude across all the way over here. Come back to this part after. So what I'm going to do is snap this here, then add a loop cut here. Slide it down a bit, and then try to get this horizontal or like lined up so it's straight. And I'll probably change the orientation to normal so it's easier to extrude with. I'm going to do the same thing with this decal and hide it. Now that we've reached this corner, what I'm going to do here is grab or select just this vertex here and extrude it over to the other one to connect them. And I'll probably, what's it called? I'll select this one and select this and fill it, just so we can get it easier. And probably slide this over just so it's easier. Then I'm going to select this, click, here, wait, let me do that again. I'm going to select just the plane, select all by pressing A, and then press M and merge by distance, just so the vertices are merged. And now what we're going to do for this corner is just add loop cuts and snap them to each vertex in the corner. Then snap them to each vertex. I'm going to extrude the vertex here and then fill. And probably like this. There we go. And then now what we're going to do is go back over here and pretty much do the exact same thing. Then what here, wait, 1 second. What we'll do is just go back to global and make sure all of this is just flat by snapping by pressing G and then pressing Z to lock on the Z axis like this, and then making sure they're all lined up on the same Z axis to make it look smoother. Didn't really do fuck all, but whatever. So now what we need to do is fill it in. So don't just go like this, select the loop and fill. It's really bad for the topology. What we're going to be doing is just going slow and filling it in the correct way. So we're just going to snap it across or extrude it across. What I might do here is just so it's easier to line up like that. What I'm going to do is just merge these into called into one so that it's not as much to extrude across. There's no reason for it. Probably do it to this one here, so move that over there, move that one there, and merge. Trying to line these up so I can do the next part. What I'm going to be doing is just selecting these, that, and then extrude these out a bit. I'm going to extrude it according to the right side here, like that. And then what you can do here is just like this and fill. Where you get pretty clean mesh like that. Just gonna line these up real quick, like that. Add a loop cut here. Add a loop cut in the middle here. Cut here as well to match up. I don't know what I just did. Okay, so as you see here, there's n-gons. So like, see how it's not connected? What we're gonna need to do is add a loop cut on this side as well, and make sure you merge. And now to fill in the last bit, I'm just going to extrude a bit like this. And slide that over and fill. And probably gonna do that, and then oops, cut here. Cut there. Fill. The last part is always pretty messy. I almost said meshy, but add a couple more loop cuts. For the most part, it won't matter. As long as it's not crazy bad mesh. Here, what I'm going to do is merge a couple of these vertices together so it's not so many. Make my life easier. Oh, well, make sure. I'm going to probably extrude these down like this. A loop cut. Then I'm going to just fill them in like this. Probably merge that one over there. See here? It's all filled up. Now, what I'm going to do is center the origin. Do that, or what I just did for this pie menu, I'm using Machine Tools. It's a free add-on for Blender. I highly recommend you get it if you're going to be using Blender at all. And now that we have it all filled in, what we're going to do is just obviously going to center it and then double check the transforms to make sure you don't have any rotation or scale. And if you do, just apply the transforms like that. Actually, don't do that. Apply the scale and then apply rotation separately. And next thing, what we're going to be doing is we're going to just rename it something like tutorial underscore terrain. I don't fucking know, something like that. The next what we're going to do is go to material preview and just copy neighboring grass texture. It's a lot easier that way. Example here, we can just use this one, copy the name and select the plane and then go to the left thing here, go to the search bar and paste it. See, it's just green because you need to UV map it now. What I usually do is select it all and then go to cube projection. As you can see here, it's really shit looking because it's not that, you need to scale it up. I'm going to rotate it a bit so it's like 90 degrees and then scale it up a bunch. Probably even more than that. Like that probably works. Now we're going to need to add the vertex colors to properly what's called blend it. So go to color attributes plus and then name it color 0. Click face corner, bite color, and then go to color and change this to I believe red. Pink also works, it doesn't matter, either work. Then click plus again, type color 1, change the color to blue or green. You can do all blue or all green, doesn't matter. As you can see, the texture is changed. So now what we can do is play with the blending. So to blend it in with this neighboring grass, what I'm going to do is select it, select the color 1 channel, go to vertex paint, go to solid mode. And as you can see, it's mostly using blue. So what I'm going to do is change it from green to blue. This way it looks better in neighboring grass. Remove the color 1 channel and then change it to blue. See, it looks a lot better. But I think they're also using alpha layers as well for blending, so I'm not going to get into that today. But now what we're going to do is just paint a little bit of green on here so it's not just all one texture basically. Select color 1, go to vertex paint mode, go to solid, and then change the white up here top left to green. Change the strength a bit. paint whatever. It doesn't really have to be anything crazy. Change it until it looks good. Like for example here, I'm gonna change the intensity a bit. Not so noticeable. The strength, I should say. What I'm gonna do is go to green and then change it to the like a more bluer green, and then change the strength down a bit, so you can have like a fading effect, kinda different texture almost. I don't know, fuck it. This is just to demonstrate how you would do it. Do it until it looks good. Obviously, this looks like complete shit, but just a demonstration, of course. Then, once you have the terrain in place and painted, what I would do is start doing the houses next. Obviously, you don't need to use certain houses, do whatever you want, but I don't think I'm going to be modeling the houses in this tutorial. But so now that you have the terrain in place, what we're going to do is import the collision. So go back to CodeWalker, Control Z if you haven't, just make sure everything is in place. Then go to collision, top right here, and select just any part of the building. Copy the name and go to RPF Explorer and export it. You're going to want to export the normal one and the high @ symbol one. Also, actually, if you're replacing the whole area, you're going to need to export all of these. Now you're just going to import the collisions. And what we're going to do here is just select hierarchy on the bound geometry BVH, and then the viewport, press X and delete. And what we're going to do is select everything except for one object, or probably keep the bound polymesh, and go to edit mode in the polymesh and select everything except for one triangle. Then what we're going to do is just move the triangle under the map. And center the origin. Then we're going to import the other collisions as well. Do the exact same thing. Select hierarchy on this, delete, and then remove everything except for one triangle. And import the last one. Do the same thing. Now that we have the collisions removed, what we can do now is make the collisions. So what I'm gonna do here is first I'm gonna go to scripting and type bpy.context.object.location. Then now what we can do is just paste this into CodeWalker when we open it and make the new Y map. Now what we can do is move the object to the origin. So with machine tools, what I'm going to do is press Alt A, and then it'll open up this thing bottom left and click origin. Then I'll focus on the object. Now with the Solid Spline menu, press V and create drawable. We're probably gonna, just for this tutorial, I'm gonna embed the textures, but preferably you should make a texture dictionary. So I'm going to go to drawables, shader tools, and set all materials embedded. And what I'm going to do is select the mesh, go to tools, create bounds, uncheck replace original, and create composite, or create bound with bound composite selected. We can rename this to tutorial. Actually, wait, hold on. Yeah, we can just do this. Tutorial underscore. Wait, no. Hold on. Delete this. Move this back in. Now that it's a drawable, what I'm going to do is move it back into location. So now we're going to copy the coordinates and move it back. Now that it's here, what we're going to do is go here, click, and then create the collisions. This way it's in the right position for the world, so you don't need to embed it. So now what we're going to do is just name it like that. And click the bound geometry BVH, press V, and apply flag preset. And go to the bound polymesh and remove the existing material, and then just add the grass collision material. And now what we're going to do is go to archetype properties, click the plus, and rename it to something like, I don't fucking, something like that. Then select the drawable that you've created and auto create from selected. Now it should be good, and we can go ahead and export this. Solemn's export, make a new folder. Doesn't have to be the same place, obviously. And now what we can do is go ahead and export our collisions. Select the hierarchy. Make sure when you're exporting you have selected objects only on. That way, whatever you have selected, it's only going to export that. Or otherwise, you're just going to export everything in your blend file pretty much, and it'll lag like crazy. Take forever. We're just going to export these collisions, and then we're going to export the drawable and export the collision. Alright, now that we have it all exported, we can go back into CodeWalker. Go to if you haven't yet, go to your base GTA folder, make a new RPF by right-clicking New RPF, then open it, and it doesn't have to be in a folder or another RPF or whatever, but you can just drag it into these. So what we're going to do is drag all the XMLs into here, and then what we're going to do is drag these converted XML files into our resource. So just drag these into the stream folder. And what we're going to do now is go ahead, close this, and restart CodeWalker. Open it up again, and now we can make the new Y map. So first thing what we're going to do is go here, go to the scripting tab, and copy the location from earlier. And wait for it to load, and then we'll open up, what's it called? No, what we're going to do is press new YMap file, and then go top here, go to new entity, and then paste the location, and then you can change the name. There we go, and our terrain should be in place. Then what we're going to do is calculate the flags and extent, and press save. Go to our resource folder, and rename the YMap, so something like this. Something like that. And then what we're gonna do is go to tools, manifest generator with just the new YMap in it. Make sure you don't have anything else. Go to generate and then save YMap or manifest. And then what you can do is close this, and then open up our project from earlier. The wrong project. Open up your project, and then open up the new YMaps. You can just open everything pretty much. See, now our terrain is in place. Obviously the LEDs are still there, but realize we have to remove the window emissives. Missed a couple light bulbs, it seems. Now that we have it all in place, next thing I would do is save the new project, or save everything into the same project. Go selection and check for car generators. Okay, so this location is good. There's nothing in the way. So the thing I would do is go to archetype extensions. This is good. Check entity extensions. This is good as well. And last thing we need to do is remove the LED lights. So to do so, what you need to do is go to the DLC, or first you need to close your project window. Go to the DLC and change it to MP sum. and wait for it to load, and then you can open your project back up. I have to change the DLC to remove the LED lights. Now that we have it changed, go ahead and open the project. Then change the selection to LED lights, and then turn it to night by changing the time of day. Then you can just select the LED light, click add to project, and delete. Project and delete for each of these. Now that we have all these removed, make sure you go ahead and calculate the flags and extents for these new Y maps and save them into your resource folder. Save the project and close this. Now we should have it all removed, and the next episode of this like series or whatever, tutorial guide, whatever you want to call it, I'll be adding buildings and paths to the area.